Hi everyone, this is Shanidra. Yes, with Beyond the Cover. I am so excited to let you guys know the new. Now, as we know, we're going beyond the cover and we're doing shows and clothes. Yes, with my More to Classy boutique, we will be doing shows with clothes. Also, our purses. Are you in business, sweetheart? Yes, look at this beautiful purse. Yes, we have to do business. Now, are you getting a call? Answer that call. Hello, I know you did not think I was going to just leave you with just that sneak peek. Here is our new purse, sweetheart. Yes, this is where you will put this. This actually attaches to your phone and you can take the calls while your phone is in your purse. Oh my gosh, look at this. It says call me. Yes, call me 25 cents. Yes, so you could be doing business, have your business bag from our More to Classy boutique. Yes, look at the inside. So, answer the call, sweetheart, and get into these blessings. Hello, everyone. This is your girl Shanidra with Beyond the Cover. I know you guys see me in two different views. Yes, because today's topic is the undoing slash renewing process. So, God gave me this visual of how He wanted me to present the undoing and the renewing process. So, let's get started. First, of course, I'm going to showcase my mugs. Yes, these are our new, yes, COVID proof mugs that we are selling. Yes, on our website that is on the link below. So we have this going along with our journal. So everyone that will be on our Beyond the Cover will receive a Beyond the Cover journal and a mug. That's why you will have to, pay to be on Roku. So you are not only going to be on YouTube, you will also be on Roku. But let's get into it because this word on today of us going beyond the cover of what you see, it's about to get deep, guys. So you guys want to see me looking at these two different cameras because there's two different views of how people are going to see you now. So, let's get started because we're doing the undoing process. So, I'm going to choose one of them to start with. So it started with this one. So, I hope everything is all right. Okay. So, I'll just add this. So maybe God just want me to keep having both of them so you guys will be able to hear me and it won't have that echo extra noise. So the undoing process. Yeah, see, and there's a lot to it. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be all types of um, different ways to view what is happening in your life in this new process. So, the undoing process, the undoing the old you process type of situation. So, let's see. So, the definition of undoing is to reverse the doing of. So, like on the cha-cha slide, how he go, reverse, reverse, you have to reverse what you were presently doing. Like you can't continue to do the same thing. You have to rewind, like, let's start this over. How would you deal with this situation now? If you was able to reverse and rewind, how would you now, in the being spiritually led, deal with this situation? That's the undoing process. It's undoing how you presently would handle situations. You'll handle it more in God and in the spirit of God. So it also says to do away with. So you would do away with your old ways. You would do away with your old ways. Yes. So one of these sides may be distorted because you're doing away with the old ways. And that's why I did not want to do it in my basement, because I was like, oh Lord, it's gonna, the internet is gonna look distorted and mess up my video or whatever. He was like, that's exactly what I want. Because to people, while you're in this process, you're gonna look distorted to, others as you are going through the renewing of your mind, because stuff is going to start looking different to you. You're going to start changing. You're going to start acting different. You're going to start viewing stuff differently. You're going to start seeing stuff differently. So there's going to be a change in you that everybody is going to see, and it's going to look distorted in their vision. Like, what in the world is wrong with her? Something is wrong. She look weird, So in their eyes, they're going to be thinking like, what in the world? So, but you're going to erase those things that was the former you. You're no longer going to think that way. We're writing new things down. We're writing new things in our revelations journals. Okay. We're writing the new things that we're going to do to undo what we used to do. So somebody chew me out, I'm going to walk away because I don't have that to do. Somebody, because I mean, that just shows your growth. Like, I don't even entertain people that try to, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're really hurt. I see them in a different light now. Now I know that you're not necessarily yelling at me or you're not frustrated with me. You're frustrated with yourself. So you start seeing stuff differently. But anyway, so again, the title is The Undoing Process. So when you're undoing a process, you can no longer go back to your old ways. So, but remember, it's a process. So when something is a process, it doesn't happen overnight. So let's talk about what process means. Because process means that it's a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. So if you're trying to achieve a better you and you're trying to be better, it takes action. We can pray all day, but he said faith without works is dead. So it takes action, consistency. You was consistently cussing people out. You was consistently smoking and drinking. So now you're going to have to consistently stop doing those things. That's why I tell people, when you repent, before you even repent, I advise everyone to fast from smoking, drinking, whatever it is. Fast from a man, fast from sex, fast from whatever stronghold is holding you in sin. Period. If you can fast for 30 days and be consistently not doing it, then that shows that you have, number one, self-control that God asks you to have. And number two, it doesn't matter what comes against you because now you know and you recognize that, dang, wow, they had a stronghold that was holding me back from a lot of things. Because once you stop those things that have a strong hold on you, that will eventually start opening up more doors, and then you'll start seeing a better life. And you're not going to want to go back to the former things and the former ways that you used to go. So now let's talk about the renewing of your mind. So in Romans, he said, do not be conformed to this world, meaning that we live in this world, but we cannot be conformed to the things of this world. We can't do what everybody else is doing. Just like my mama used to say, and now that I'm a mother, I say, you my child. You are my child. So therefore, I don't care what they out there doing. You can't do that because you representing me. Okay. So with that being said, and we very familiar with that, especially with us Black people, we know how our mom, she meant what she said. So we know for a fact that, mama said, I'm representing her. I got to act right. I can't be out here doing whatever. Okay, that's the same thing with God. He's saying that, hey, you representing me now. You said you giving your life to me and all of this stuff, and then you want to be out here claiming that I'm your father. He said, how do you call me Lord, Lord, and you don't do what I say? So if you're going to be out here claiming my name, you're going to do what I say because I'm your father. So when you are going through this process, he renews your mind because you cannot think the same way that you used to and be conformed to the things of this world. He said, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So he renews your mind. That's the first thing he does. And that's because what it says in the word, so a man thinketh, so is he. So, if he renews your mind, your thinking will be different. You won't even think the same because he renewed your mind. So now you're thinking spiritually more so than flesh. See, at first your flesh was controlling you, but now you're able to have self-control and be spiritually guided and allowing God to direct your path. Secondly, that was in Romans 12:2 of him saying, do not be conformed by the things of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And we're going to go to Colossians 3rd chapter, verse 10. And it says, and have put on the new self. So now, you putting on the new self. Now you don't walk the same. Now you don't dress the same. Now you dress with class. Now you talk better. Now you address things in a better light. Now you like, oh, that's foolish. You start seeing how foolish you look because you see how foolish other people look. It's like, oh man, I was looking like that. That is sad. You see how lost they are. It's a lot of lost people because they are thinking that, they are being conformed by the things of this world. I mean, whatever is happening in the world they are moved, but more so by what's happening in the world than what God is telling them. So, which leads me, he said, and have in Colossians the 3rd chapter, verse 10, he said, and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge after the image of its creator. So you put on your new self you put on the new self, which is being renewed in the knowledge after the image of its creator. So the renewing of your mind is now guided by its creator. The knowledge that you have is no longer the knowledge that the world gave you. It's the knowledge from God. You have the knowledge of God. You'll have more insight on what the enemy is trying to do. You'll have more spiritually guided insight of the stuff that we cannot see because God will be guiding you. So therefore, it won't throw you off because most of the time we get frustrated because it's like, where the heck did it come from? Because we were not in tune with God. So therefore, we didn't see a lot of things happening. So then when it hit us, we reacted in our flesh instead of being in our spirit, because if we was in our spirit, God would have already prepared us for this. And he does, but since we're not spiritually guided and we're so focused on the things of this world, we can't hear him. We're not listening for him. So God has to renew your mind. So a man thinketh, like I said, so is he. So God starts with the undoing of the things that you were taught that was not right. What we were taught is so wrong. It's like you have to undo everything. Everything you have to undo. Trust and believe. Me, you. So let's get back to it. He doesn't want this to come about. So he's never going to be excited about you undoing what is right. But see, look, God already prepared me to do this way. And all I got to do is re enter. Like, we're going to mess up, but we have to learn to re enter. We have to learn how to not stop even when the enemy tries it. He gonna try it. Trust and believe. He tries it all the time with me. As you can see in the middle of the video that I know for a fact that God had me to do. He's trying it. But back to what we were just presently talking about is that's why I always write stuff down. That's why it's good to have these revelation journals, because you are able to write stuff down. So, like I said, the things that we were taught, all wrong. All wrong. So he got to undo everything that we was taught. Everything that the man taught us in this world was wrong. It's the opposite of what God has us to do and has us to be, and it's wrong. Totally wrong. So the undoing and the renewing of your mind, everything has to be redone. That's why he said, lean not into your own understanding, because your own understanding is what man told you to do and what man said was right. But now he's telling you, let him direct your path and acknowledge him in all of your ways. So when we start doing that, I know I can't wait to see how this looks. But when we start doing that, we'll start to understand. So, um, God starts the undoing of the things that you were taught that is not right and according to his image, as we were talking about. He is transforming you to become the person in his image. So, whom he had created you to be. Once that starts, it begins the process. The process. Now, people think, oh, I done been dipped under the water, so now I'm fine. No, there's a process that you must go through. You are not, just automatically. There's a process. It's an action. Remember, the process means a series of actions or steps that has to be taken in order to achieve a particular end. So if your ending is to be in heaven, then there's some actions that you have to take. So you start to see things differently that made sense. That made sense in your understanding is not the same as God's way. The stuff that you think, oh, I gotta work this job, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta pay these bills, I gotta work for these people, and I want to do, because I feel in my heart that I need to be doing, what I'm passionate about and what I like to do, but I gotta pay these bills. I can't just jump and just do that. Yes, you can. I am a living witness. I am a single mother, and I have been there, done that. No childcare, no help. Everybody was working. So therefore, I just took the leap of faith. Now, did it make sense to me? No. I was like, what in the world? Everybody in my family did not make no sense. I was like, what are you doing? You need to think about these kids. I did die. You need to get a job. I'm like, I have been trying to get a job. I've received plenty of jobs, and they do not care about my kids and la da 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 da. So, it was just an ongoing process that, I felt like what nobody understanding. I don't understand enough to explain to them, but I know that this is what God had me to do. And 6 years later, look at me now. So I'm a living witness that I had a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I just took the leap of faith. You hear Taraji, she said she just left with her son with just a little bit of money, and she just basically took the leap of faith, and God provided. And look at her now. Look at all these celebrities. Look at Steve Harvey taking a leap of faith, and look at where he is. Look at all these different people that ended up taking the leap of faith, and look where they are now. God is trying to tell us to let him direct our path. Acknowledge him in all your ways. You thinking that job is providing, that's not your provider. My business not even my provider. That's why I always tell everybody, it's not, girl, you're doing good in it. No, it's God. I'm just being obedient to whatever he tell me to do. That's what I do. So it's not my business. It's not no job. It's not nothing. God, once you start recognizing and realizing that God is your provider, you don't worry about nothing. I'm less stressed out. That's what it means when it says peace that surpasses all understanding, because you just give it to God. You're like, okay, this bill is due, whoop-de-woo. I have not worked. My kids have been virtual this whole time. They are good kids, but they do kid stuff. So it's not like, oh my gosh, she's just, no. I have them all day, every day. My son has asthma, therefore I will not, I don't care what anybody says, I will not take a chance on my child. So if he's not feeling good, or if he has asthma and COVID is out here, I'm not taking a chance. I'm spiritually guided by God. So therefore, if God didn't tell me to do it, I'm not doing it. And I don't care who likes it or who don't like it. And that's where you will have to be. You will have to have that confidence, knowing that I don't need a vaccine. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need the things of this world. I need God. I need God's guidance. I need him to direct my path. I know he's been my provider. It hasn't been this job, because this job will let me go in 2 seconds. If it wasn't for God making them keep me, they don't want you there. They just want you to make them, their business better. You're building their business when you could be building your own business. That was the whole point in my Destined to Be class. But now I want to focus on the young kids, because they are the future. And that's why both of my children are entrepreneurs. My daughter has been an entrepreneur for a whole year now, since last year, since COVID hit. Now I let my son make his decision, because I'm not forcing this on them. They've watched their mother do it for 6 years. My daughter's just 8, so it's been her whole life. My son has watched me from working jobs to being in business for 6 of his 10 years. So that's all they know. They've seen God move. God paid off one of my cars. I had a 2016 Dodge Dart, and God paid that off last year. The money just dropped. And people are like, oh, so you believe that Jesus is more than a prophet? Yes. So you think you believe that he miraculously came through a virgin? Yes. Because I've seen money just miraculously come into my account. I've seen, I don't watch the news, because my news is the word. Everything that y'all are hearing on the news God has already said that some of these things is going to happen, and he prepared us for it if we read the Bible. But your excuse is you're not wanting to listen to the white man or whatever, but yet you clock in for the white man and you do what the white man tell you to do. So if that's going to be your excuse, then you're going to have to stop working for them. Then you're going to have to start your own business then, because you cannot listen. Remember, you can't read the Bible, because you said the white man is trying to manipulate you and all this stuff, but then you work for them. So it has to make sense. We have to make sense here, and I'm not going to tell you stuff that you like to hear. So with that being said, I'm turning from side to side, because you will no longer be the OU, the distorted version, whichever side that is looking like it's, I don't know, I can't see which side is messing up or which side is not messing up. All I know, and you see that anytime that God has you to do something and you're going against the world, just know the enemy mad. He big mad. Just know that the world is not gonna be on your side. I thought, oh, I should get help because I'm gonna tell them that I'm starting my business, so I should get child care for starting my business. No, because I'm not doing it their way. I'm doing it God's way. So anytime you're doing it God's way, the world will not be on your side. You will not have the worldly thing, but you'll have God, which is more than the world. Now you can make your own prices. You don't have to be making 19 or $10 an hour. You can be making 150 an hour because of the gifts that God gave you that you didn't have to go to school for. Now you can go to school and enhance. So let me get that straight because people are like, oh, are you saying that people that went to school? No, school is good. I'm not saying nothing about that. All I'm saying is that you already have a natural gift and you can always enhance your gift. Like I will enhance my gifts through school, but it's already there. Is all I'm saying. I'm saying that you didn't have to go to school for something that you already know how to do. You already know how to do it. You're just enhancing your gifts through school. You're just learning more of how to use your gifts. But really, God directs your path on how to use your gift, but you're just enhancing on how the gifts work pretty much. But I'm solely directed by God. So therefore, the gifts that he has given me, he knows what he wants me to do. So, and he knows what he wants you to do. So anybody that is on the fence of, oh my gosh, I hate being at work because I have this feeling inside of me that I just want to, I want to quit, but that provides. That job does not provide for you. God is providing. When you recognize that God is your provider, that job, you be like, boy, bye job, buy this, but because Shanita was smart and God would never leave you and have you doing something stupid. You always have to have a plan. Because when I ended up taking the leap of faith, I started using my checks. Because you have to start using the jobs like they use you. And I started, because I'm like, dang, I don't make enough to get all my supplies. So every check, I'm like, okay, this check gonna be mostly on my rent. So I'm gonna have to buy something small. What can I get with just this much? Oh, I can get ink, or I can get this, or I can get a printer, or I can get a camera, or I can get this with this check. I was just buying every check, seeing what I can get while paying my bills. And then once I had, I guess, enough that God wanted me to have, I decided to stop because I started getting customers. I started, trying to work it and see how it works and taking pictures of my kids. And then I started getting customers asking me how much. I'm like, oh. So I did a special of $50. And it was like everybody was hitting me up. Oh, $50. Oh, $50. Oh, yes. Can you do my pictures? I'm like, wow, I'm sitting here working. I'm not going to say the job at a call center and making nothing. And I'm like, dang, I'm only going to make and this is for, I take 1 hour, but it does take time to edit or whatever. But I'm like, dang, I'm gonna be working 50,000 hours here when I could be getting $50 an hour just doing a special on my photos. I mean, just imagine how much you can make with your gift. It'd be more than $10 an hour or 15 or $20 an hour. Just imagine. And God will direct your path like he sent the airport. I would have never, because I didn't feel qualified. I didn't feel qualified talking to y'all like this. I didn't feel qualified like teaching y'all the word and stuff. I'm like, God, why me? I didn't feel qualified as a photographer because I thought, oh, you have to be in school, because my mind was not renewed. I was thinking of what the world told me. I have to go to school if I want to be this, if I want to start a business, if I want. No, you don't. You just got to be directed by God. God is going to tell you what to do with your gifts that he put in you. Period. You don't have to worry about it, sweetheart. Quit thinking that that job is providing for y'all. If the pandemic didn't show y'all anything, I don't know what else is. There's nothing that I'm gonna be able to tell you. If y'all don't see by now, I don't know what else to tell you. But God just wants you guys to be more dependent on Him than that job. As y'all know, the jobs will let you down. That was my biggest thing. And I remember crying to God, saying, Lord, because I've been working jobs and my cars was messing up and my kids was getting sick, and I was like, oh my God, Lord, I didn't feel like I was doing enough as a mother. I'm like, dang, I feel like I'm letting my kids down. They don't get to see me as much. You know, their life is gonna fly past me if I keep working, and then they're getting sick, and then I'm not able to be there all the time, and because I'm trying to work to provide for them. I was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I need your help. I need you, Lord. Help me to be there with my kids. I just want to spend time with my kids. I want to enjoy my kids. I just want to be happy. I just want to do something that I want to do, Lord. That's all I said. That's all I said. And then I started taking the steps, the actions. Like it says, part of the process is a series of actions. So I started taking actions and steps as He was guiding me, and as the hunger of starting my own business started building more and more in me, I just started the process. And I'm like, I didn't know what was going to happen, especially with me not having childcare. They're cutting off everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Everybody's working. Their dad was working. My parents was working. His parents was working. It was like, what am I going to do? But I had both of my kids, and I just started the process with my actions. And still didn't know. I still did not know. And I was based on income. At first, building up my business. But then God was like, you're ready. And when it's time to move forward. Don't be stagnant. And from there, He has elevated me. I remember not having cars that was reliable, that was breaking down. All of this stuff when I was trying to do it my way, because I was like, just give me any piece of car. I don't even care. Just give me whatever. I don't even care. Just give me a car. I need a car. And I just need to get to work so I can provide for my kids. But the moment I realized that God was my provider and He kept saying it in His word, and like basically, won't I too provide for you just like I provide for the birds and the bees? He's like, well, why are you worried about those things? That's like our children. We ask our children, why are you worried? What are you worried about? You have nothing to worry about. It never fails. But what are you worried about? God is your provider. Know that the enemy is always going to try it. You've seen this video itself, and I feel like God wanted you guys to see how He's going to come to attack when you're trying to do what God has you to do. It never fails. It never fails. So it's just best to let God direct your path and know that it can happen. I've been in 5 wrecks. I needed a blood transfusion after my first child. I had cervical cancer after my second child. Then got into a wreck, needed to be on crutches, but I'm walking. I never got the blood transfusion. The cancer has been removed. It will no longer be ever come back. By the grace of God, He has healed me by His stripes. That's why I have so much faith in my Father. And that's why I don't take chances, because
I've had near death experiences with the wreck, with the car flipping over 5 times. And I'm thinking, oh, this is it. But thank God my kids are not in here. It's just been a lot. And nobody knows the story behind the story. Nobody knows you beyond the cover that they see. And that's how God had me to come. Um, well, that's how He came up with Beyond the Cover, because I wanted something that I could have my Destiny magazine interviews on, and and dig deep, with people. And he was like, "Yes, you'll be going beyond the cover." I'm like, "Yes, beyond the cover of the magazine and beyond the cover of who they are." And I was like, "Yes, God." I mean, I just want everybody to have this personal relationship. And I don't like even sharing my thoughts on this one, but I will. And because he's so awesome and I want everybody to experience it. And I'm not making this up, because I used to think like, oh, whatever, they just saying that, whatever, it's not that easy. They don't know how hard I got it. I got 2 kids. They don't know. They don't. Oh, trust me. Now I can say I know that you can do it, because if I can do it with 2 kids and no one understanding this journey, I didn't even understand the journey. Uh, but with me learning to not lean to my own understanding and acknowledging God, I mean, I have had peace. That's why I'm so. It's not that, oh, Shanita, she done got, she don't want to be around nobody. No, it's not that. It's I protect my peace. I have finally felt the peace that surpasses all understanding. And honey, once you experience that type of peace, you like bye. Like, you cannot be in my being. You cannot be around me with that negativity, because I just, and it's not that I don't want to hear anything that is negative or whatever, because I am God's child and I am here to be a listening ear and be slow to speak and quick to listen. Um, but I'm also an empath, so I have to be careful um, with how much I receive per day. So if I be like, not today, let me talk to it, just pray about it or whatever, that means that I received all I could receive for that day. And I had to learn that, because I'm like, being an empath, it's like you go into a room, you could just feel everybody's hurt. And I mean, it's just so much, and don't nobody understand. So you can't talk about it. So you're just feeling everybody's pain, and it's a lot. So, if I tell people to just pray about it, or, um, you know, I, I can't, necessarily talk. That's why, even with my children, and I love them with all my heart after God. God has my heart, but after God, I love my children. So um, it's, I tell them, like, even when mama's not available, or even when I can't talk to you at the moment that you're needing somebody to talk to, that's why I want you guys. I tell my kids, I want them to have that relationship on their own with God, because it's an experience. They got I can't love them the way God love. I mean, I've never experienced the love. I had to learn how to receive love. Um, I had to, and I didn't even realize that I was pushing God away. Like, He has been so good to me, and the love He has shown, even when I was, He's not like us. We'll give up on each other in 2 seconds. Like, I ain't got time to be dealing with all that. That's too much. But God never gives up on us. If you are still living and breathing, that means He's giving you another chance. And I'm so thankful for all the chances that He has given me, because I needed all them chances. And I'm thankful to still be here and to be able to be obedient now and to do His will now and to just feel His love and hear His voice every day. It is such an amazing feeling. And you have to get into the word. Like, I didn't think I needed the word. I'm like, I got God. I don't need no word. But I did. I mean, he explains everything in more detail. I get it because now I'm spiritually guided in God. So that's why it's important to have that connection and build that connection with God and understand that God is your provider. Nothing else, no one else is your provider. Even if I was giving you money all the time, I'm not your provider. That just mean that I'm being obedient to God and I'm doing what God told me to do for your life. But that don't mean that I'm your provider. That still means that God is your provider. I just use myself just so you can understand that nothing, no one or nothing is your provider but God. And once you recognize that, you'll be able to let a lot of things go. So if that's a concern or I got kids and I got to provide, my rent is in thousands. So I'm not working a job. I have 2 kids virtually. I'm in the house all the time with the kids. I have a car payment. I have all of these things. But yet and still, God is my provider. So I don't worry about these things because everything is paid. I have a water bill that's separate from my electric bill, but it's getting paid because I'm directed by God. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that because you see the enemy mad, he big mad, and I don't care, honey, sweetheart, because we're gonna get this word. So tune in today at 7 p.m. and I hope that you guys hear me and understand that this is real. I'm not going to tell you anything fake or that I heard. It's what I went through. All I can do is tell you what I know from my experience of what I went through. So I love you guys. Let's go beyond the cover.
Hi everyone, this is Shanidra. Yes, with Beyond the Cover. I am so excited to let you guys know the new. Now, as we know, we're going beyond the cover and we're doing shows and clothes. Yes, with my More Too Classy boutique, we will be doing shows with clothes. Also, our purses. Are you in business, sweetheart? Yes, look at this beautiful purse. Yes, we have to do business. Now, are you getting a call? Answer that call. Hello, I know you did not think I was going to just leave you with just that sneak peek. Here is our new purse, sweetheart. Yes, this is where you will put this. This actually attaches to your phone and you can take the calls while your phone is in your purse. Oh my gosh, look at this. It says call me. Yes, call me, 25 cents. Yes, so you could be doing business, have your business bag from our More Too Classy boutique. Yes, look at the inside. So, answer the call, sweetheart, and get into these blessings.